विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामी इति नामिने नमः आचार्य पिताय नित्य प्रदाने गौरकथा धाम दाय नगर ग्राम नेताने ओम नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारने निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य शताने जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरवृंदा ओम ज्ञान तिरमंदस्य ज्ञानंजय शलाकय चक्षु अयान्मिलितं तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारने निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य शताने जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let's pray to our obeisances to Sri Kshetra, Shankakshetra, Neelachal Dham, Jagannath Puri. Let's participate in pulling off the chariots of Supreme Lordships, Jagannath Prabhu, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. Today, mentally, we are in Puri, and Saturday, physically, we are in Bangalore, pulling the chariots of the Lordships. Let's take darshan of Bangalore ISKCON Sheshadipuram altar. Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Today we are doing chapter 11, verse number 55. If you don't know where you are going, any road will take you there. There is a wonderful song of the Beatles. I'm amazed at the philosophical quotation of that. In our lives, we are set on tracks by our parents, by the society, by economy, and everything. Actually, none of these people are people who know where to go, how to lead. So we don't know where we are going, what life's about, what am I supposed to do, what's the purpose. Then anybody will say anything to you and take you, and any road can take you there because it's a purposeless life. So the Bhagavad Gita tells us that focus. When Arjuna gets confused, Krishna tells him, this is the way to go. And Krishna has given us the road on which we should travel. He told us that we should accept a person who knows the road that leads to the reality, leads to the absolute truth. Don't take any road. Don't listen to anybody and everybody who is showing you a way. There are millions of people like the Pied Piper. I'll show you the way. Follow me. I can play the music to you. I can give you wealth. I can give you this. I can give you that. And look at the world now. It's facing an economic meltdown. There is always a leadership problem. It's because people don't factor Krishna's words into their lives. Listen to what Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita. Don't take any road. Take the road you need to take. Verse number 55 says, work for Krishna. Krishna is the supreme. Become Krishna's devotee. Don't envy any personality. Be devoid of any material association. This verse is the last verse of chapter 11. It sums up the entire chapter. Let's revise the shloka. Shloka number 55, chapter number 11. Mat karma kran mat parmo mat bhakta sanga varjitah nirvairya sarva bhuteshu yah saha mameti pandavaha. My dear Arjun, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. You've all heard of Kamsa, right? Kamsa was always thinking of Krishna while sleeping, while eating, drinking, walking. Jalatala malatala, every breath. But have you heard of a Kamsa's temple? Would you want to follow him? From the beginning, Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna. From the beginning of Krishna's birth, and because Kamsa was always unsuccessful, he was absorbed in ways to kill Krishna. Pivot of absorption. Krishna, but one should dissociate himself from persons who are against Krishna. The term Sangha Varjita is very significant. Anya Abhilashita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulayena Krishna Nu Silyam Bhakti Uttamaha. In this verse, Rupa Goswami clearly states that if anybody wants to execute unalloyed devotional service, he must be free from all kinds of material contamination. One should think of Krishna and act for Krishna favorably, not unfavorably. Kamsa was an enemy of Krishna. That Krishna consciousness was not favorable. He was considered a demon. Let's look at a devotee, Hanumanji. An innocent Hanumanji inquisitively inquired from Sita why she applied a pinch of red powder in a parting. Sitaji coyly replied that this pleases the Lord and increases his longevity. The absence of Hanumanji in the courtroom bewildered everybody. Ramji is looking around, and then walks Hanumanji. Everyone looks at him, stares at him, and break into a loud, hearty laugh. Vashishta Muni smiled wild. Person present there laughed loud. Ramji suppressed his laugh, smiled coyly. Sitaji smirked. He had become the laughing stock. And Manji stood there, unperturbed, unbaffled, innocent, astonished, with folded hands. Ramji asked Hanumanji, "What have you done? Why are you covered with sindoor from head to toe?" Hanumanji had coated himself with sindoor. Innocent, baby-like Hanumanji replied, "Ma Sitaji said that a pinch of sindoor pleases you and increases your lifespan." Ramji understood. Hanumanji did so that his master would have a long life and be pleased. This is called Krishna karma. Ramji blessed Hanumanji, gave him a benediction that his darbar would never be complete without him. Surrender. Surrender like a souled animal. No voice, no choice. Not even like a slave. Some rebellism can be shown. The Lord protects everyone, but one who depends completely on him is specially looked after by the Lord. The father is more attentive to the little son who is exclusively dependent on the father. Prahlad Maharaj cites the example of King Gajendra surrender to Narasimha Dev. Prahlad Maharaj has to be right. He is telling Narasimha Dev, who is absolutely knowledgeable. There is no difference between his holy name and the personality of Godhead. The leader of the elephant was much distressed. When he was attacked by the crocodile, although the elephant is always stronger than the crocodile, the latter is stronger than the elephant when it is in water. And because the elephant was a great devotee of the Lord in his previous birth, he was able to chant the name of the Lord by the dint of his past deeds. The living being is always distressed in the material world because this place is such that at every step one meets with some sort of distress. But one who is supported by his past good deeds engages himself in devotional service of the Lord. Gajendra was conscious of his relation with the Supreme Lord. He addressed him as Adi Purusha, the original enjoyer, and then as Akhila Lokanatha, the Lord of the universe. The elephant, being a pure devotee, deserves to be saved from the attack of the crocodile. And because it is a promise of the Lord that his devotees never be vanquished, Gajendra called the Lord for protection, and mercifully Lord responded. My Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj says, it is not what you have, it is what you do with it. It is not who you are, it is whom you are serving, whether you are serving your senses or Krishna's senses. One cannot save himself from the cruel hands of death in the material world without having surrendered himself at the lotus feet of Krishna. Haridas Thakur, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, lives in a jungle cave. A venomous snake was a co-partner with Haridas Thakur in the cave. Some admirers of Haridas Thakur who visited Haridas Thakur every day feared the snake and suggested that Haridas Thakur leave that place. As the devotees were regularly visiting the cave, Haridas Thakur agreed to their proposal on their account. But as soon as this was finalized, the snake actually crawled out of the hole in the cave and left for good in the presence of all the devotees by the dictation of the Lord within the heart of the snake. It crawled out and out of the cave to give preference to Haridas Thakur to continue his stay without fear and disturbance. The Lord gives protection to a bona fide devotee. A human being is required to accumulate Devya Sampati or spiritual assets. Otherwise, the next alternative, Asura Sampati or material asset, will overcome him disproportionately, and thus one will be forced into the entanglement of different miseries of the material world, entangles themselves in the cycle of the laws of fruitive action. One must cease to act as a karmi or enjoyer of the results of one's own good work or bad work. He must execute everything on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate proprietor of everything that be. Therefore, one should first of all hear about the Lord, glorify his acts and deeds. Thus, it will be possible to remember constantly the transcendental nature of the Lord. All a person's activities becomes molded into the spiritual activities. This brings freedom from all sorts of fear. Time is free, but you can't own it. Once you have lost it, you can never get it back. So don't wait. Chant Hare Krishna. Our friends, relatives, and so on, called wives, children, are not only fallible, but also bewildered by the outward glamour of material existence. As such, they cannot save us. Still, we think we are safe within the orbit of family, society, or country. Everybody is a dead body, flapping only for a few days. And yet, all the energy of human life is being wasted in the decoration of this dead body. Sukdev Goswami says, persons who are devoid of the knowledge of Atma Tattva are misguided. But those who are devotees of the Lord and have perfect realization of transcendental knowledges are not bewildered. When in exile, Ramji and Sita ji were in Chitrakoot. The forest queen visits them and requests with folded hand for some seva. Ramji asks her to clear the pebbles and thorns on the path he has walked. The Lord knew that his brother Bharata would be coming in a short while. The baffled queen hesitantly asked Ramji the reason for this service. You have already walked this path. Is Bharat's foot so soft that he cannot withstand the pricks of thorns and pebbles? Any guesses? No. Bharat can withstand the thunderbolt of Indra, but the mere thought that these thorns and pebbles would have pricked me, that's Ramji, will tear him apart. He will be devastated. Bharat ruled Ayodhya as a prescribed duty to his brother Ram. A Kshatriya never falls back, the servitude king, the surrendered soul. We had heard of Duryodhan. We have heard Duryodhan ke meva tyagyo, vidur ghar saag khayo. Krishna has eaten Sudama's broken rice. A priceless peacock feather decorates Krishna's turban. Decoration is never complete without it. He is satisfied with Pattanam Phalam Pushpam Toyam. Let's peep into another pastime. Satyabhama. Pride at its peak. She's extremely beautiful, rich, intelligent. Krishna's favorite queen, after all. Sweetheart. Pride before a fall. Narada Muni knows this trait of Satyabhama. He visits her in the palace. Pleased with her service, he asks Satyabhama to ask for a bhoom. Satyabhama played a perfect host. Satyabhama wants Krishna exclusively, life after life. Donate your favorite thing in this lifetime and it will be back in the next, says Narada Muni. Donate Krishna, says Narada Muni. Satyabhama is initially hesitant, but yields to the thought that Krishna would be hers life after life. Narada Muni walks out with Krishna. All the other queens are baffled, flabbergasted, crying, creating commotion. Rukmini and Krishna exchange slight glances. After a lot of coaxing, Narada Muni says, well, I'll exchange Krishna for his weight in gold. A happy, relieved Satyabhama brings all the wealth, but the scale does not move a fraction. Satyabhama is now tense on the verge of crying. She now places her favorite valuable personal jewelry on the scale. It does not even stir. Panic-stricken, tired, frightened, she turns to Rukmini for help. Rukmini looks for Krishna. They exchange glances. Rukmini clears the scale, the heap of gold, cleared, and a simple tulsi leaf placed. Up goes the scale on which Krishna is seated. Narada Muni takes the leaf and leaves. Narayan, Narayan. Krishna cannot be binded by wealth or beauty, but only by unalloyed devotional service like that of Brajavasis, Radharani, Gopis, Gopas. Mother Yashoda even binded him to a mota. My Guru Maharaj quotes, Srila Prabhupada said, you take one step towards the Lord Krishna and he takes 10 steps towards us. Start chanting. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way to get out of the fireball of repeated birth and death. Samsara dava, navnita loka, taranya karana, guna gunatam. So please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all, Prabhujis.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji.